Milos Kerkez has said yes to Liverpool and personal terms will not be an issue. Liverpool are expected to step up the pursuit on their move for Milos Kerkez. Liverpool are still interested and are still ongoing conversations happening with regards to Florian Wirtz. Fabrizio Romero has just given us an update with regards to Martin Zubimendi saying that the medical is booked soon. We've already had a here we go. Liverpool still not stopping there. Hugo Ektike is heavily linked to a move. Could be their new number 9. Reports coming out from Portugal that Arsenal have made a £58 million bid, which would be about 70, maybe 65 million euros, which is the release clause for Viktor Gyokeres. And Romero could be joining Atletico Madrid for as little as £40 million, which would be absolutely criminal. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Let me know your thoughts on every single story we discuss, whether you're a Newcastle fan, Liverpool, Arsenal, Spurs, City, whoever you support. We try to cover every single club on this channel. The Club World Cup is only a few weeks away, and we will be here every step of the way for that. Make sure you go down, smash the subscribe button to pieces. We are less than 6,000 subscribers away from the big 60K. The YouTube 100K milestone is in the distance. We can see that. And 90% of you have not hit that subscribe button, so go down and do it. Now, we're going to start with Fabrizio Romero with regards to Arsenal's midfield plans. Then we'll get on to Liverpool. Then we'll come back to Arsenal. Then we'll move on to Romero. So strap in, people. Now, Fabrizio Romero has come out and said Arsenal plans for a midfielder are confirmed after Jorginho's exit. Now, we know Jorginho has just joined Flamengo. Martin Zubimendi will formally compete his €60 million move soon with medical signature. Here we go, confirmed. Negotiations are also underway for Thomas Partey's new deal. Look, there's a lot of reports coming out. Madrid Extra, big social media account run by Madrid fans, normally put out some reliable information, have said that Real Madrid are still interested, but Martin Zubimendi only wants Arsenal. Now, I think that's a great bit of business for Arsenal. If they can get Thomas Partey pinned down to a new deal, as well as having Zubimendi, you've then got Declan Rice, you've then got Odegaard, you've then got Wanyeri. They probably need one other midfielder from an attacking perspective, and then they're pretty much good to go into next season and compete on all fronts. Sorry if I do sound a bit bunged up today. I do have a cold and it is kicking my backside. But yeah, we need to carry on with the transfer news. There is no rest for the wicked. Now, Florian Plettenberg, the most reliable source when it comes to German transfer news, has spoken about Hugo Ektike with Liverpool. Now, look, Liverpool right now they're steamrolling through this transfer window. You know, they've already got a here we go for Frimpong, and we know there's been images and videos of him landing in Liverpool for his medical. Fabrizio Romero has also given an update with Milos Kerkez, which we'll get into shortly. We know that Fabrizio said last night on YouTube that the conversations are ongoing with regards to Florian Wirtz. And now Plettenberg has just put out saying the next big target from the Bundesliga, Understand, FC Liverpool are now seriously in the race for Hugo Ektike. Talks have taken place. Slot and Edwards are keen on him. The biggest rival at the moment is Chelsea. Eintracht Frankfurt have not received an offer yet. Marcus Crochet still demands €100 million, which would be about £85 million. Now, if we look at Hugo Ektike, one thing we know for sure is there is a bundle of talent at this guy's feet. He is one hell of a player. 34 GA this season in all comps in the Bundesliga and the Europa League. I've seen this guy score against Tottenham. I've seen this guy play in the Bundesliga. He looks one hell of a talent. Now, if Liverpool can bring him, Florian Wirtz, Kerkez, and Frimpong in, then they are 100% favourites for the Premier League next season. Hugo Ektike, alongside Mohamed Salah, would be one hell of a front line. And then you've either got Diaz, Cody Gakpo to play on that left-hand side, Chiesa, Nunes, Jota. One of those is definitely going to go, though. And then you also look in the 10 Florian Wirtz. Now, Wirtz is pushing for the move to Liverpool. So right now, they are absolutely not messing around. You've also got Fabrizio Romano has come out and said, understand, Milos Kerkez has already said yes to Liverpool on personal terms. Club-to-club talks underway, with Liverpool also busy on Florian Wirtz deal, but in regular contact with Bournemouth. Deal is absolutely on. Listen, Michael Edwards is not a man to mess around with in the transfer window. If they get Kerkez, Wirtz, Ektike, and Frimpong, listen, I'm not saying Liverpool are going to do the treble, but they are going to be one hell of a side next season. And Arsenal and City and Chelsea and Newcastle, whoever wants to close down this gap, they need to step up very, 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 very soon, because they right now are bulldozing their way through the transfer window. The transfer window isn't even open yet. We've had a here we go for Frimpong. We know that conversations are ongoing for Florian Wirtz. We know that Milos Kerkez has already agreed terms with Liverpool, and now Hugo Ektike. It's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane what we're seeing in this transfer window. And it's not even open yet. Now, Gyokeres, according to sources, a £58 million bid has gone in from Arsenal with regards to Viktor Gyokeres. Now, before I bring up this tweet, once I find it, will be a very, very good, Here we go. Deadline, Transfer News Live, who put out all the transfer news I've put out. Now, before I bring the report up, I'm going to say I don't know how reliable this tweet is. I don't know how reliable this source is. But this isn't the only person talking about Gyokeres. Sky Sports News today spoke about Benjamin Sesko and Gyokeres. So we know that one of those two will be joining Arsenal. Arsenal have had talks with Sporting striker Viktor Gyokeres' agent in Lisbon and made a £59 million offer to sign Swedish international. Now, Andrea Berta, we know, is a big, big fan and met up with Gyokeres' representatives in London only a couple of weeks ago. So they are pushing for the move. Now, Arsenal right now have to get this right, because as good as Benjamin Sesko is, and you could maybe say that he has a higher potential, a higher ceiling than Gyokeres at 21 years of age, a lot of people believe he'll be the best number 9 in the world in a few years' time. But Arsenal aren't in a position to keep building. Thierry Henry said it today on Sky Sports. That building is already massive. It's already tall. It's huge. It's a massive, massive building. How many more parts of this building do they need to go for Arsenal to win the league? And right now, in my humble opinion, in my personal opinion, as a rival fan, as a football fan, as a Premier League fan, Arsenal have to go out there and get a ready-now striker, and that player is Viktor Gyokeres. His record in Liga Portugal, his record in the Champions League, in the Europa League. He's played in England for Brighton, for Swansea, I believe, and for Coventry. Maybe not Swansea, I think it's just Brighton and Coventry. But his record is absolutely stupidly good. If they get this done, that is going to be one hell of a bit of business. Alongside Martin Zubimendi. Now, we know that Rodrygo is still on Arsenal's radar. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens with regards to that. I'll come back to that shortly. The BBC have put out, according to Transfer News Live, that Martin Zubimendi has been given permission to undergo his Arsenal medical. So he probably will be wearing an Arsenal shirt in the next week or so. There is the Euro 2024 winner against England. Still to this day breaks my heart. But yeah, so Martin Zubimendi will be becoming an Arsenal player very, very soon. Now, in terms of even Transfer News Live have put out saying Arsenal are on the verge of finalising the deal for the deal for Martin Zubimendi. In terms of Tottenham, Christian Romero. Now, according to reports, Atletico Madrid want to bring this guy in. You know, Eurofoot have put out saying Sky Sports, from Sky Sports Lyle, who obviously is a good correspondent, covers a lot of the Tottenham news, saying Atletico Madrid expect to approach Tottenham over the signing of Christian Romero, potentially as early as next week. Reports It's from Sky Sports Lyle. Not clear yet if Tottenham will sell. Atleti still willing to pay around £38 million, but believe Tottenham value him in excess of 49 million. That is absolutely correct. This guy is valued at 60 million plus. Lenny Yoro went from a French team with one season under his belt for 60 million or 55 million to Manchester United. This guy is a World Cup winner, 2 times Copa America winner, and a Europa League winner. 5 finals, 5 wins. Europa League player of the tournament. There is absolutely no way he leaves Tottenham for anything less than £60 million. And before anyone in the comments says he's not worth that, it doesn't matter. That's what the going rate for the Premier League is. Newcastle or Spurs, we're looking at £60 million for Mark Gahey with only 18 months left on his contract, right? Romero is not far off the level of Mark Gahey, probably on the same sort of level in terms of his ability. So to sit there and say he's not worth £60 million is absolutely insanity to me. Insanity. Now, in terms of Rodrygo to Arsenal, I think that Arsenal right now will have 5 or 6, maybe 8 or 9, maybe even more targets for their left wing position. But I just think Rodrygo right now, Real Madrid plan to balance out the books according to this summer for a sale of a big name player. Rodrygo is the most likely to be sold. Arsenal are interested in the Brazilian, who would command a fee of 80 million euros. Again, we need to find out how serious Arsenal are in this upcoming transfer window. Because if they sign him, if they sign him, they are 100% next season going to be one hell of a side. But again, I don't necessarily know if they are going to do it. Like I think Abuemo and Nico Williams could still be on the radar. Make sure you go down, drop a like, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you all soon.